Welcome to On Air with Kash. Our guest today is one of Hollywood's top casting directors for his work on major projects including Hotel Rwanda, X-Men, and the series 24. His debut feature noir film 10 Tricks starring Lea Thompson is available on all digital platforms and streaming exclusively on Fandor on September 27th. Please welcome Rick Pagano.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Kash, over the internet.
It is very nice to meet you too, sir. Man, you have had a career that has spanned a few decades. You've worked on some very big feature films. After all these years, you decided to direct your own feature film. What made you want to shift gears?
Well, I think I've always, and I think the movie is ultimately about that. I think I've always thought that although casting is fun, you know, it's a little, there's a Jackson Browne song about the roadies, about the bands who wake up, by the time you wake up in the morning, we'll be 1,000 miles away. When you're casting, you get to do all this wonderful stuff with the directors and producers, but when the shooting starts, you're off on another project. And so the most fun part of making a movie, you don't get to really be there for it. So I had always missed that aspect of it. And I had written some plays before, and I had always wanted to direct more theater. And so I directed this one as a play. And then it got great reviews and it kept getting extended. And on the closing night, an attorney friend of mine came and saw it and didn't understand what the notion of closing night meant. He didn't think that, I had to explain to him that we sent the actors home, we've taken on the set. And he said, well, why don't you make it into a movie? So he helped me raise the money and we ended up making a movie.
That's amazing. And then I have to ask, how'd you get Lea Thompson involved in this project?
Well, first I had to rewrite the script, and then I got John Bailey on board, who's a legendary cinematographer. He did The Big Chill. He shot Groundhog Day. He shot 90 or 100 films that you'd all know. Once I got John on board, it was pretty easy. I then sent the script to Lea. She responded to it. Originally, we had someone else in the role, but she couldn't for the play. But she couldn't actually do it because she had commitments in Canada on a TV show. So that's why I went out to Lea. She graciously said yes, and she's terrific in the film.
It has a very film noir style to it. I like that it's in black and white. I haven't seen the film. I've only seen the trailer. It'll be available on September 27th. Is there anything specifically about the film that you'd like to share with your audience?
Well, it's a comedy about men. It was originally written someone, and an actor that I had done a play with, that I directed in one of my previous plays, had asked me to do some monologues about men. So I wrote these monologues, 14 or 15 monologues about men and how silly we are, how foolish we are. And when I thought about where to place them, when I started putting it all together, I thought, well, I could set it in a psychiatrist's office, but that would be a bit cliche. So instead of doing that, I thought, well, what would be the least likely place to set a series of men revealing themselves? And I thought, well, a brothel. So I said it there, and that's when I created the role of Grace, the role that Lea played. And then I brought in a magician. So basically, there are these two characters that you see throughout the film. The magician who's fed up with his career, that's pushing. I mean, I would say that there's a part of me that at that time was a little bit burned out on casting, because there is a serious, even one of my, Gordon Davidson, who was the artistic director of the Mark Taper Forum, even Gordon used to say there's a high burnout rate among casting directors. And I think I was in a period of burnout and feeling like I really needed to take a change. And so I think that gets voiced in the character of the magician. And I also wanted to become a dad. And that probably gets voiced in the character of Grace, who actually has taken all the fertility drugs and wants to have a baby. And the guy that she's made a date with, who has all the right genetic qualities that she's looking for in a father that she wants to pass on to her baby, he skips town, he chickens out. And so she has to find someone to father a child. She's surrounded by men trying to have sex, but none of them are right. They're all a mess. So they're the 10 tricks of the magic tricks, and they're the 10 tricks of the men that are candidates. There's a pun on tricks.
Gotcha. Okay, so there's kind of a metaphorical and a literal
Yeah.
element to the title. So basically, there's things that you were going through as well, like wanting to become a father. There's certain things that you were going through that you incorporated into various characters in this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Having this legendary career as a casting director, working on some of the top films in the industry, and then really taking this ship, do you feel like you're going to direct some more features going forward?
I would like to. I have a project that I was working on with Richard Donner. Richard Dick was the director of Superman and Maverick and the Lethal Weapon movies and the Goonies. Wonderful guy. He passed away last year, but we were trying to get a movie off the ground called Hanging Alice, and I'm trying to get that. It's a comedy, very different from this one, much more of a PG-rated film than 10 Tricks is. And so I'm working on trying to get that off the ground. And then I've got someone a man I've worked with on a couple of movies, Stratton Leopold, is someone who's produced some large, he was the head of production at Paramount for years. And so he and I are working on a project called My Italian Cafe. I'm trying to get that one off the ground, about a magical cafe where you sit and drink your coffee, and when you get up to leave, your perfect lover appears in the doorway, and they're always Italian. So those are the two projects I'm trying to get off the ground right now.
That's amazing. What was your favorite experience being on set with 10 Tricks? Was there a favorite scene or just a favorite memory that sticks out during this process?
A couple. The actors were the same actors except for Lea. All the actors were actors who had done the play, so they were very well rehearsed. And they doubled. You'll notice that when you see the film, there are 4 or 5 men who play all the roles. So there's lots of doubling going on. We try creative ways of trying to mask the fact that it's the same actor playing a whole different role. But and so I had a really good time working with some of them, trying to find really creative ways to hide their appearance or change their appearance somehow. That was one of the fun things. I had a great time working with the crew because the first day I was first-time director, and I was working with John, and we managed to shoot, I'm not going to tell you how many pages, but we shot an enormous amount of footage in one day, our first day of shooting. And after that, the crew thought I was okay because we'd gotten through so much the first day. So after that, one of my best memories was having lunch with the crew. And that helps because when when the crew likes you, they work harder for you, you can actually get more done. And we ended up having a much more positive experience because the crew was really on our team, along with the actors. I already had the actors. They were already people I'd worked with before, and we had a blast working on the play. So really it was that. And then I also had a great time developing a relationship with Lea, because again, she and I were new to each other, and we had to develop a common language for me to be able to talk to her about the role.
See, that's what inspires me, because I've been fortunate enough to be cast in a few projects, and I've worked with various filmmakers who have a crew that's like their family. And those are some of the best crews that I've seen. And I feel like they're welcoming me into their family.
I think what you say about family is a really good point, which is that I think you can either have a dysfunctional family. I've worked on those projects where and the director or the producer, depending on whether it's TV or film, and depending on how powerful, who's the most powerful person there. But a really good director can be the father or the mother of a family. And you can have a dysfunctional family, or you can have a really happy family. And the best films are the films where people are getting along, as you say, where there's that sense of a family with someone at the lead who is attentive and compassionate and working toward a goal, not sitting back and doing nothing, but pushing forward with kindness and compassion, I would say.
You said it right there. Rick, it has just been such a pleasure talking to you today. Is there anything that you would like to share with your fans out there, and anything to the audience about the film that you want us to know about?
I hope that there's a famous last line in one of my favorite movies called Day for Night by Francois Truffaut, which one of the crew members walks right up to the camera and says, I hope you all enjoy watching the film as much as we enjoyed making it. And it's a great line, and I think that that's kind of what I would leave people with, because that's how I feel about the film. We had a great time making it, and I'm hoping everybody enjoys it.
Well, I've seen the trailer, and I've really enjoyed talking to you today. I wish you all the best with this. I'm definitely going to be streaming it on September 27th. Everyone, I need you to give it up for Rick Pagano. He's a legendary casting director spanning decades career with some of the top films, including Hotel Rwanda, X-Men, and 24. Please check out his feature film, 10 Tricks, starring Lea Thompson, releasing on demand on all digital platforms on September 27th. Rick, thank you so much again for your time today. Please come back. I want to talk about your next films with you when those are ready, and we're going to have another in-depth conversation.
Sounds good.